Record to this computer. Hello, hello. So I've got Joan and Carol here, and I'm going to change the view. I think this will be best. So, yeah, you guys have Sweet Poppy and Kugel, but Kugel's not a baby. And yeah, you have gone through my Puppy to Perfect program. So, yeah, like I mentioned to you guys a minute ago, I like to do these videos just because when people find me, they are going to maybe think, who is this girl? What's going on? Like, is this a good idea? Is this just a scam? With AI and everything on the internet now, trust is pretty low. So yeah, I want to share the experience of people who have actually worked with me and get your honest, unfiltered opinions. So clearly you're here in front of me, so you might not want to say all the bad things if there are any bad things. But I do want you just to share, yeah, your experience, so that other people maybe can go, oh my gosh, that's just like me, or not, and just, yeah, help them to decide if I could be the person who could help them get their puppy to be the polite family member that they were hoping for.
Sure.
All right, so can you think back to 4 or 5 months ago when you brought Poppy home? What was going on for you guys? What were you thinking, feeling? What were those first couple days like? Because you started pretty quickly after you got her, right?
Yes, we did. I think we got her when she was 8 weeks, and we probably started with you when she was maybe 10 weeks.
Well, we were gone for a couple of weeks, so
Yeah.
somewhere in there, 11 or 12 weeks, maybe at
Okay.
most.
So yeah, you did have a few weeks of no expert help. So yeah, tell me what that was like.
Well, we were just kind of winging it,
That's right.
I guess.
Well, and Poppy is very energetic. This is a very different experience for us than we had with our first dog. Kugel is basically a very, couch potato kind of dog, and we were looking for a little more active dog, and what we got was the other end of the spectrum in terms of active dogs. So we're adjusting to that as well.
We started crating her right away at night, and
That was very successful.
yes, yeah, she that was very helpful for us and for her.
And she would take naps in the beginning, and we'd crate her for her naps most of the time. And those were good breaks for her. So I think that we, early on in the program, understood the importance of a schedule.
Well, that was that was when we got into the program, but
Right.
but Rowan was asking about what we were doing beforehand.
Before.
I think the only thing we did was crate her and take her outside right away because we had that experience with the older dog.
Yeah. So were you, yeah, why did you look for a trainer? Were you desperate and oh my gosh, this is crazy and I can't do it? Or was it like, I just want to do it right? I wanted this to be easy. Yeah, what was sort of your mindset in the beginning?
I think we with the first dog being such a low energy dog, we really didn't need anything with her in terms of training. She failed training, but realizing that Poppy was much more playful and energetic and curious, we knew we were going to need help.
We knew we'd need some sort of way to direct that. We didn't really know it intuitively.
And yeah, we realized we had no idea when certain things should be done and when it was too early to do things. And so we saw your a posting on Facebook, and thought, oh, sounds really good. And then we contacted you and talked about it and signed up for it. And what was so important to us was recognizing that she was too young to do some of the things that we thought we should be doing with her. That was incredibly valuable for us, learning, week by week what was reasonable to expect and what was not reasonable to expect at the different ages.
Yeah.
How to deal with behaviors, because she had so many different behaviors than we had experienced with our older dog, in terms of mouthing a lot, chewing actually, and she had very sharp teeth as a puppy. Um, so that was immensely valuable.
Awesome. Um, to rewind a smidge, before you started with me, was there anything that you were maybe skeptical or fearful about when you started? Because, yeah, I mean, we do live near each other. So, and I think you might have known people who would work with me. So it's a little different from you versus someone in California maybe finding me.
I don't think we knew anybody who had worked with Rowan. I think we did it, but
well, there were people who commented on her Facebook page.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I would say that I was a little skeptical at first that dog training could be done by Zoom, but I quickly became used to the manner of training that we were getting. And really, what's most important about it, of course, is training us.
Right, exactly. Yes. Yeah, I shared that skepticism about whether, we can do that, not in person, but then realized that it was really very efficient to learn from you and then practice and then have an opportunity twice a week to engage with you. And, you were very good. Anytime we, you know, emailed you or texted you, you got right back with us. And we felt that we were constantly being supported. It was like a 24/7 support rather than, a once a week meet with the trainer kind of thing. That was huge.
Perfect. That's what I want it to be. So I'm glad that, yeah, that it's coming across the way that I want. Um, so was there anything surprising about the Puppy to Perfect program? Anything stand out to you like I was not expecting that, or this made the most difference for you guys?
Um, so many details um, that were significant that we would not have thought so. For example, we're teaching Poppy to ring the bells. Of course, we're down living in a camper right now in Florida, and there are no bells.
Yeah.
Um, but you teaching her at home, and you pointed out to us that she was going to ring the bells to play rather than to go out and do her business. And so having a routine that you recommended for that was, very good and is still in practice right now.
Cool. Yeah, those potty bells become butler bells really
Yes.
quick. So
Yes.
yeah, I've been sharing more info about that lately because I see a lot of questions about it.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, it's been perfect for our older dog. But because Poppy is so much more playful, she, recognizes it means to go out. And so we're still working on that because we haven't been home in almost 2 months.
I think it's a big struggle for her. Not a struggle really, but it's complicated for her to learn in a way that adapts to all of the different places we are because we're traveling a lot. We've been in 3 or 4 different locations, and she has to figure out what she's going to do at each one of them, where the dog bowls are and where the door is and how to get
Yeah.
her attention.
Yeah, that's going to complicate things, but you know what you're doing. Set up, be consistent, show her the things, she'll figure it out.
Yep.
I think the other piece of information that we haven't, we're moving towards, but the other piece of information that you provided us was that there are, um, there are useful places for e-collars.
Yeah.
We have purchased one. We have not used it yet. We're reading about it. We're trying to learn more about how to use it exactly right. But the permission, if you will,
Yeah.
to use an appropriate one in situations where she's further from us than we can correct her.
Yeah, it sounds like you want a very easygoing off-leash lifestyle. Yeah, go hike, go walk through the big open field, park. Yeah, e-collars can be a great tool for that. Yeah, I'm off-leash living right now
She's
with my 20 acres. So
I would really like it if that helps her decide not to go play and run around and instead to come directly to me. But
Yeah, not
yeah,
chase the
that's
deer.
something I am still working on.
Yes, yes, and she still digs some on occasion, and that e-collar is going to be helpful for that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
She's been spending time around another dog who's a year older, mostly poodle, and that dog is being trained as a service dog, sort of. And so her owner has an e-collar, and we see how she uses it and how the dog responds to it, and that'll be useful, I think.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah, or when you come back up to Ohio, I can come over and we can do some lessons.
That would be great.
I will
Yes,
that a
if you
lot.
want, of course.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, was there a favorite lesson that you guys had?
Huh.
You could think, I know there's like 75, 80, there's a lot of them. So yeah.
Um, I can't, you know,
I can't identify one.
no, I'm
Gotcha.
sure there were several, but I can't, off the top of my head, I can't bring them up. You want to suggest some?
No, I don't know what your favorite's going to be, but yeah, we had the problem behavior solving one. So like don't chase the cat type stuff.
Mhm.
There were a lot of those like lifestyle ones on like vaccines or exercise, spay, neuter. There were
Actually, I
some
think
like that.
this is going to sound silly, but the one, and I don't think this was a lesson as much as it was you giving us advice in a session, was to roll up all the carpets.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was,
We
Yeah.
rearranged our living area and rolled
that's
up the
true.
carpet
That's true. Yes,
so that we could manage potty
right.
training.
That's true. The space and also how much space to give her at each, kind of, at each pain point.
Pain
Yeah.
point.
So that, that we would be able to observe her and, but not have her give her the run of the house. That was very, very helpful. Um, because we have an entire lower level that we didn't take her down for the first 2 months. So she didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
So that, she was limited to certain spaces. And I think that was very helpful. The other one was socialization and your, recommendations for, um, different people, different genders, different, sizes of people, stores, things like that, that we should get her used to. And, she remains incredibly social now.
Yeah.
With every dog and every person she meets.
Good. I'm curious if you can think back to when did you realize or were you confident that this is working? Like, okay, I'm glad we did this. We're seeing changes. Like,
I think within the first couple of
Yeah,
sessions.
I think that was consistent.
okay,
Your preparation, and, outlines and all gave us a lot of confidence that you were going to cover, um, even more topics than we could think of. And so that was very reassuring that
Mhm.
you were going to get to that. Like we'd have some questions and you would say, well, in 2 weeks we'll be, that will be appropriate to be talking about. And that was very, just the whole idea of the schedule and, guidelines and what we should expect at each, point was really helpful.
cool. So, how has your life changed since working with me?
Well, our life is major changed with two dogs over one dog.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like having your voice in the back of our heads.
Uh-huh.
Rowan would have appreciated that.
What would Rowan say?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny because you're the at least the second person who has told me that, I think, in an interview like this.
Yeah.
That, yeah, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah, just the little reminder of should we be letting her do that? Or, yeah, oh, I'm so frustrated. Why is she doing that? Well, what would Rowan do if she were here
Yeah.
and the puppy was doing
Uh-huh.
that?
Uh-huh.
Um,
Or let's go look up one of those, lessons because I think we missed that one.
oh, yeah,
So that was
cool,
helpful too. Yeah, those were great.
cool. So, yeah, and then I guess you said these. I've, of course, got a list of questions. I want to make sure that I get
Yeah.
sound bites of the stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, what was it like working with me? And I know you've said some things around this, but
You're very easy to work with, Rowan. You're a pleasure, and a delight. You're not at all judgmental. I mean, you're very accepting of whatever's going on, and you just kind of gently, guide us in a different direction if you think we're headed in the wrong direction. I just felt very comfortable with you the whole time.
awesome. That is my plan. Yeah, because we're all living life different ways, different places. Yeah, you guys have lived more life than I have, and you've gone more places, and you're just everything is different. So, yeah, you get to make your decisions for how it's best for you. And then if you're like, oh, this thing is bothering me about my puppy, I'm like, okay, well, let me see how I can help tweak things so it fits
It's
into your lifestyle.
Yep, yep.
I feel like we've sort of said this too, but were there any great things that you weren't expecting?
You know, I I think what you delivered was exactly what I was hoping to be delivered. And so more than we were expecting or something we weren't expecting, I don't think so. I think it was all consistent with the training program. I guess if there's anything, it's that you um did everything you said you were going to do, and that's unusual.
Yeah.
Been
Cool.
very thoughtful about putting the program together, and it shows, and your expertise is very obvious. You share information about your dogs and about rescue dogs, and the volume of your experience is obvious, and that is also very reassuring, to those of us who have no clue what we're doing most of the time.
Thanks. I feel like you guys knew what you were doing some, or you took it really seriously. So yeah, I could tell that from the beginning you were like, look, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. You're gonna tell us to do things and we're gonna do those things. And boom, boom, there you are. Yeah, just perfectly following along. I think you held up your workbook one day and were like, look, we're doing all of the things.
That
Um,
may have been someone else.
Yeah,
oh, was it?
I don't think we checked off anything in the workbook.
that's
Oh
not true.
no.
That's
Oh,
not
I'm
true.
sorry, Joan did.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
some, but not a lot. No, we felt guilty about that.
That's
But
right.
it was
Oh,
what we could manage. Um, we read through them,
That's right.
so
that's okay. So
But we weren't
yeah,
making hash marks for what, and it might have been better if we had actually,
we didn't have the bandwidth for
keeping
that.
track
yeah.
of all the time she went out and what she
Yeah,
did and all
yeah,
that. We just didn't.
yeah, and that, and I think we suffered for that,
Yeah.
because we didn't quite pick up her cues early enough. I
Yeah.
think since we weren't,
We're still working. I mean, her cues are
well, that's
all
because
over the place in different places.
we have her in different
That's
places
right.
all the time. So yes, but she's doing really well.
She really is.
She's sleeping through the night. She's doing great.
Good. Yeah, and it's okay. I do remember you saying that now. So yeah, there's a reason that there's a workbook, some things
Yes,
to read, there's some things to watch, there's Q&A with me because
Yep.
people learn differently. So
that's
yeah,
right.
I love having checklists. If you're not checklist people, that's fine. You can just watch and run with it, but yeah, this is for all the different types of humans
Of
and
course,
how
and
they
you're
want to
right.
learn. So yeah, it worked for you and yeah, you managed to do it even though you're not big check
Checklist.
people.
But
Yeah.
you gave us so many different options. That's exactly right. I mean, people learn in different ways, and um, having multiple ways of doing that, through direct Zooms, through text, through your lessons. I mean, all of that is, it's just it's a smorgasbord of training that you get to, pick out so many options. It's really helpful.
Cool. So I think the last question I have is what would you say to someone who's considering working with me?
Go for it.
Give her a call.
Yeah. Okay.
We've done that already.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Short,
yeah.
succinct advice. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
All right, I think you should have asked one more question. And that is, what else could you do that would be helpful?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I know there are a few places in the program I asked for your feedback, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, having completed it, I think um, having access to this,
Material.
the materials beyond the program would be
Mhm.
helpful.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
going to ask about that.
As long as it's, you don't share it with other people.
Right.
Yeah.
But the stuff that we've already looked at, it would be helpful to have that again. And then, and you maybe already do this, but have like an option for add-on care
I
after.
do.
Yeah, I thought you did, but I
Yeah.
haven't had a chance to look at it.
That's okay. Yeah, you guys have been living it up in Florida.
Right.
Um, so yeah, actually, I'm trying to figure out how I want to deliver the program because for you guys, I sort of switched halfway through, right? There was a portal, and then I'm like, this is too difficult. Let's just do links to videos. So yeah, I think I probably will leave your access. I said I was going to change a password or something. I haven't done that. So
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
think I
So
am.
we haven't looked, but
Okay.
it
Yeah,
certainly
I think
would.
I am moving towards leaving access to it.
As
And
long as
then,
and as long as you trust people not to share it with others. I
yeah,
mean,
for sure.
I.
Yeah, and then I do have, yeah, I call it perfect puppy lifestyle is the
Mhm.
continuing.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, that allows you to we'll keep access to the curriculum, the Zoom calls, and support for I think you can do like 1, 3, or 6 month increments.
Okay.
So
Okay.
um
Yeah. When we get back home in March, we may look into
I
that.
think we'll do that.
Because yeah, we're going to have you come over and
Yeah, we definitely. I thought
cool.
about Rowan coming over the other day. It's like she's going to bounce all over, and then Rowan's going to think we didn't do anything to train this dog.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know me, I'm so judgy.
Right. Hmm.
Well, all right, yeah. So thanks for taking the time with me. It's nice to, yeah, hear how things are for you guys. And yeah, I am so jealous. Is that a whatever pretty tree is behind you? It almost looks like a mimosa with the little pink frills. I don't know.
Here,
Yeah,
You know what
wish
that
I
is.
was there.
okay, I was going to flip
Flip
it. Where
You
is
may
the
just have to
flip?
turn it around. There isn't on
Hmm.
Zoom.
There's not on Zoom. Here you go. Here's where we're.
Ah, nice. Yeah, look, judging by your coats, I'd say you're not getting in the pool anytime soon.
No, we were going to just go check the hot tub temperature to see if we might
Yeah.
hot tub before a shower.
Right.
But I don't know that
Yeah.
we'll even do that.
It's going to be 80 again on Thursday, so
Right.
we're good.
Cool. Yeah, wait till Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. And yeah,
Hey, Rowan.
best wishes for you, Poppy and Kugel. We will, of course, stay in touch. Whatever you need from me, let me know. I'll
We'll be
see
back in the
you
middle of March,
middle of
and
March.
we'd like to be
Cool.
in touch then.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds good.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye
Bye.
now.